Okay, time for the most critical aspect of being accurate, and that's the layout. Here I'd already marked the platform itself, and then I lined up the top plate and the bottom plate, and then just moving the marks onto there. So I'll have marks on the top plate, bottom plate, and on the floor itself. It's important to be very precise. Setting up the studs, some are pre-cut. It's important to get all your pre-cuts done ahead of time, including your headers, trimmers, and cripples. So when you go to layout, you don't have to stop. Let me show you the bottom plate that will have all the markings on it. You see there, has all the markings for the different things. The top plate will be marked exactly the same way because these were pre-marked.
And here I am cutting some 3/4 inch plywood for the header boards. We had to build 13 header boards, and what a header board does is it sits atop the windows and all the doors. And since our walls are 6 inches thick, we had to put together 3 pieces of 2x8s, and then in between those, 1 sheet of the 3/4 inch plywood. So you can see all my little stacks there. I got a little production line. My dad's cutting the 2x8s, and I'm putting them together, the 4 pieces, and then they take 9 nails. So I have the nail gun and putting in 9 nails each header board. And we did not put those header boards in the walls until after we put the walls up and the walls were secure, just because they are so heavy. It would be quite a bit to lift with the header boards in them. So after we had the walls secured, the header boards will go in.
After building the walls, given the platform was small, we only had 22 feet across, we had 9-foot walls, so we decided to stack them until we were ready for their use. Here we use some leverage to help us pick the one wall up and set it on top of the other wall.
We were able to complete 4 walls in one day, so we felt pretty good about that. And this meant that the next day we will be able to start standing them up. And here we are, ready to put up the first wall. And we got some help from my dad and from our son Keelan. And first wall's going up. You noticed in the opening there is no header board there, and you'll see us putting those in later. There it is, first wall. So since we stacked those walls one on top of the other, now we have to move them into place. So that's all we're doing here, is just putting the walls in the correct places. Some of them, the openings are different sizes. So Dwayne had that all figured out. Make sure we get the walls in the proper place. And Dwayne's got a couple pieces of wood there. And he's going to, Keelan, take the crowbar and lift up the wall so that you can, get your fingers underneath there. Something to grab onto. And there goes the second wall. And we secured these after using the sledgehammer to get them into place. We secured them to the deck with screws. Wall 1 and 2.
Okay, so we're Keelan and Bob are starting to build a wall. That may look like 2 trimmer boards and 2 king studs. That's because it is. Down in Florida, it's a little different. Traditionally, a door and window would be built with 1 trimmer and 1 king stud, but it's 2 trimmers, 2 king studs, all pre-cut. People are beginning to get the gist of how to do this. Really, I'm the only one that had been building a house before. My kids there were too young, and Bob was building his own house. And Tina was raising the little ones. This was 20 years ago. So for the kids to come out, they're kids not anymore, they're adults in their 20s, and so they're helping to build the house there. Sears in the background feeding us material from the pad. And of course there's a process that those 2 king studs and the 2 trimmers are all nailed together. Sears feeding into the process, then we're pulling off of that so we don't have to walk downstairs. So it may look a little chaotic, but everybody knows what they're doing. The sledgehammer worked really well to bump the walls into place. Instead of trying to kick them and it being unbalanced, we just held it up. Tina bumped the thing into place, and then we screwed the wall down to the platform. Okay, here we go, ready to stand up a wall. You just kind of see more of the process there. It's important to work together as a team. Get that joker up, bump it into place, and then screw it down. So here's our last external wall going up. It was a hot day. It's been a hot day for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Heat index well over 100.
And that's it, all exterior walls in place. We do appreciate all the help from Bob, Sierra, and Keelan. There you have it. So now with all the exterior walls up, it's on to securing the walls with straps. And in Florida we have many different types of straps and braces to keep things to code. Here I am nailing the straps that go from the double seal plate. It goes on up to the rim joist, and then each stud and each king stud gets one of these straps. There are 26 nails in each one of these straps, and you can see that on some of them they're closer together than others. That would be the king stud. And Dwayne's working on the header boards that I put together earlier. I had to take a break from all these straps. That hammer just wasn't doing it. So there's one of the header boards. These go on top of, I think I said before, all the windows and all the doors. So here's, you can see there's a couple in there over the window to Dwayne's left. He's putting this one up. So this one didn't slide in there quite perfect, so he's gonna have to cut a little bit off of that. You can see the four layers there. And then as he puts that back up there, you can see there's a 2x4 there that he's setting the header on. And that's not required. Dwayne did that so that you would have a place to nail the header, to secure the header there. Which, you know, makes sense. So the day before, Dwayne saw me struggling with these nails and these straps. So he had the idea of going and getting a palm nailer. That's what my dad's using there. That thing saved so much time. So I switched gears and I started taking the straps and just putting a nail on the top and a nail on the bottom. And then my dad followed up behind me because there were 100 of these straps that went all the way around the house. Here's a look at the interior walls that Dwayne built. So the next step is trusses. Stay tuned for that.